James.
Coach, production pass rush and your three-man front hasn't been there in the last couple of games. At one point, you guys were leading the country in sacks and tackles for loss. What's going on in that unit with your pass rush and things? And you have to look at going back to a four-man front to get your pass rush going.
Well, we try to mix things up, and you know, you're right. After 3 weeks, we were doing pretty well there, and the production, you know, hasn't been what it was. The results haven't been what it was, but you know, so we're evaluating everything every week, and you know, looking under every rock, behind every door. So we're evaluating a bunch of things right now.
Did you talk about Kansas offensively too with Daniels? They were really rocking. I don't know what his status is, but they've been scoring points.
Yeah, they have. You know, they're scoring a bunch of points, rushing the football really well, and they're really good on third downs. I think they're converting 55% on third down. So those are a couple of categories that they're, you know, in the tops in the country. And so, you know, it's a very good offensive football team that presents a tremendous challenge for us. But you know, I like our locker room. I like the commitment level of our guys, and you know, we just got to keep working through this and bounce back, and you know, look forward to the next opportunity. Certainly learn from the past opportunities, and you know, look forward to the next one.
Yeah, Ted, you talk about looking under every rock and behind every door. Is part of that giving younger players a chance when maybe what you've seen in practice hasn't, you know, necessarily, I don't know, warranted is the right word, but you got to push them along a little bit further? And how do you balance that, you know, what you see during the week with, you know, what's going on?
Sure. We push everybody hard, including ourselves as coaches. And to your point, you know, we watch every snap of practice, every detail of practice, and we make decisions based on who we think gives us the best chance to win. And at the same time, we have been playing, you know, we did play a good bit of guys on defense, you know, last Saturday. So, you know, every day we evaluate everything. And again, as coaches, go back and make decisions based on what we see on the practice field. So when guys earn those reps, and certainly a lot of them have, we give them to them, and you know, challenge everybody, including ourselves, to get better.
A quick follow-up to that was your hip for the first time on Saturday. What was it that you had seen from him, or was it just the reality of how things were going that lead to, you know, giving him a chance, given, you know, what we heard a couple weeks ago?
I've seen he's worked hard and he's improved. It's you know, there comes a point for guys where it starts to make sense for him, because it's such a big jump from high school football to a place especially like Oklahoma, and you know, our depth right there right now, we've lost some guys for season-ending injuries. So you know, to be able to understand that there's a lot of football left, and you know, give guys some opportunities that have earned it. At the same time, make sure we're being smart, you know, moving our forward as far as our roster management. Sure.
Kind of piggybacking off that, Ted, how tough is it to keep young guys engaged when going through struggles like this, especially in the age of the transfer portal?
Sure. Like I said, you know, I love our locker room. I love the way the guys have approached it during the week. Their buy-in, their commitment, time spent on task. I love our locker room, but you know, that's human nature. But you know, we can't give in to that. We can't let circumstances dictate the level of commitment, and I don't sense that from our guys at all. I expect them to be fully engaged and moving forward, so that we can get this thing back on track.
Hey, Ted, Brent's talked about the linebackers being, you know, the heart and soul of the defense. What have you seen from them the last couple of weeks? You know, Danny, David, what have you seen from them, and what do you need from them this weekend?
I've seen guys that care deeply, and that have invested a lot of themselves in this program, in this defense. At the same time, I mean, we all got to do better. But I believe in those guys, and I value them and certainly respect them, their commitment, their work ethic. And, we played some good football early on. And, like I said, for whatever reason, we've gotten off track, and, got to find a way to get it back on track. And certainly counting on them for their not just their performance, but their leadership as well. And I don't have one doubt about the direction that those men are moving.
Piggybacking on Bob's question, you've been at this a long time in this game. Where does buy-in begin to get tested when things are going like they are right now within a team?
Yeah, human nature. When you have struggles, human nature is to doubt. But again, go back to mental toughness, stick-to-itiveness, all of the commitment, the things that this game is not an easy game, and certainly because of the amount of time and effort that you put into it for just a few moments of playing time. If you figured it all up, the amount of preparation time throughout the season per minute on the field, it would blow you away. But that's human nature. But our guys aren't trained that way. That's not how they think. And I believe in our guys fully, and I know we're going to get this thing back on track.
In a different direction, you had Woody in sort of a new spot. He had a productive performance. What did you make of that, getting to see the film, and then in a larger sense, when a defense is playing the way it is, what do you need from your older guys, your top players, to keep things together there?
Well, we need it from everybody, coaches, players. We need everybody's best, and certainly our older, more experienced, better, more productive players have to play well for us in order to have a chance to win. And just like we all do, we all got to do better. So, but it's not one thing or one item, or it's all of us, and it's everything. So that's it.
Woody's performance in that role, what did you see on tape?
Woody did some good things, made some plays for us, made some big stops, but Woody did a good job. Woody's a guy that cares tremendously, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Coach, you mentioned the depleted depth, just to guys that have kind of been lost through the year. Saturday, Brent mentioned that the team maybe just looked a little bit tired. How much of that do you chalk up defensively to just the depleted depth versus is there something during the week that you guys have to look at to have them fresher on Saturdays?
Well, again, we look at everything. Every piece of data we get, every step of every practice. So we look at everything and make decisions moving forward. But certainly, and part of it is that we got to get off the field on third down. If we want to play less, we got to get off the field on third down. And when we have opportunities to do that, we got to take advantage of them and get off the field. Because if you look at what's happened when we haven't on third down, it's resulted in points for the opposition a lot, way too much this season. So we've got to do a better job there to get off the field, to cut down on the reps.
Ted, at the midway point of the season, how would you grade the defensive line play so far? What are some of the good things you've seen, and what are some of the areas where you'd like to see more improvement out of that group? Well,
it's almost like our defense. It's the first three games and the last three games. But there was a lot of production early from those guys. And we just got to keep going. As far as grading them, I'm not going to stand up here and give them a grade. We all got to get better, and the incremental, consistent improvement. That's what we're measured by, and so we got a long way to go, and a short time to get there. So we got to get better. But I love the leadership from that group. I'm very impressed and thankful for that. Yeah.
Coach, I'm curious about C.J. Colden's development. He made some plays against Texas. I know he put a lot of good stuff on tape and a long career at Wyoming. Are we going to see him more out there, or was it more of an via him getting playing time because Woody changed positions for the game, or how's that kind of progressing?
Well, both of them had something to do with it, and a guy that transferred in here and took advantage of his opportunities the other day. So he's earned that. He's earned more and put himself in a position to get more opportunities, and need to continue to see him develop and grow and get better.